So you got injured and you think it's over. But nah, this is where most people quit. And this is what separates you from everyone else. Because the truth is, you don't have to stop training. You just have to train different. So listen up, man. Injuries happen when you're training. It's part of the game. But whether it's you tweaking your knee, a shoulder, your back, whatever it is. But the biggest mistake you can make is stop training. I see it all the time with my clients. And then the road to recovery is always difficult. But when you stop, that's when everything else shifts. It makes things a lot worse because what stops or what begins to happen is not just the momentum you built, is just the discipline in the process. So that's what's really important. All right. And you don't want to stop there. If you already know, this is Alchemy Fitness. Welcome to my page. And today we're going to talk about working through injuries. As you know, I have my notes in front of me. So if I break eye contact, it's not because I don't want you to look into my soul. All right. So the first thing you need to understand, when injuries occur, you're not broken, you're just limited. And this is a time for you to make the adjustments. And that's the difference. It's all about the mindset shift. I can't express that enough. And the importance of having a positive mindset when you have a setback, right? So people treat injuries, and the mistakes that most people make is that they shut down completely. They feel like they shouldn't do anything or because they're afraid to re-injure themselves, right? But really, you should take the time to just pivot. It's like similar, like I tell clients all the time when we're in the gym. If a particular exercise or machine that you want to use is being occupied, you don't stop. You keep going. You just substitute it or pivot to the one that similarly will develop the muscle or work the muscle that you want to train. Right? The same thing in life, right? So if you can't go heavy, that's fine. If you can't squat, that's fine. Whatever exercise you can't do, you just make the adjustment. You know what I'm saying? So it's about that's my dog sneezing. She's keeping me company. Uh, because progress is not about doing everything, and I think that goes into more is more, but it's really about doing what you can and giving it 100% what you can for that day. All right. So I always tell clients when they have injuries, still come into the gym. But before I go into that, man, this little rant, we gotta stop being pussies. Stop being bitches. When I say like really a soft mentality or that victim mentality, like, oh my God, I'm hurt, I gotta stop. It's annoying. It really is. And it's sometimes, it's sickening almost because society is making us like punks, both men and women. And it's really disturbing and disheartening, man. We just becoming a little soft, man. As soon as we get a little hiccup, we want to stop doing what we need to do. And it is just crazy to me, man. Like we really need to stop the bullshit and stop lying to ourselves and stop wanting people to baby us or to comfort us or always be coddled. Nah, man, life ain't like that. You're gonna get hiccups, you're gonna get punched in the mouth, but is what you do when these things or you get hit with these trials and tribulations. What are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and mope and stay there and stay down, or you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna put my back against the wall, and I'm gonna go out swinging. And you have to deal with shit like that, man. But fitness is just a metaphor for life. And I see this too. And like I said, it's a form of expression. So if we carry this type of mentality in the gym, imagine what we are outside of the gym. Always crying and moping. Nah, man. We men and women, like, we're supposed to go through shit. Life is not a crystal staircase. Stop watching the Disney movies, man. But I digress. Right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna train around our injury. Like I said too, it's about alignment. We're training hard, we're training smart, we're gonna train safe. And remember, movement is medicine. So whenever you have an injury, you don't want to baby the injury that you have. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're speaking in context on how to train. Like Michael Hearn said, and I like it. He said, you walk around with a cane, you end up with a limp. The more you baby a injury, you're going to overcompensate for it. Then it's going to cause a greater imbalance with your body. Because any good personal trainer, or when you're training, it's all about symmetry and development. And you want to have quote unquote homeostasis or some type of balance as close as you can in your anterior and posterior chain. And training in all planes of motions as well. All right, so keep that in mind. All right. So when you train around an injury, you want to be practical. You don't train through pain, you train around it. So if you have a knee pain, I have clients who have like lower body injuries, right? They be like, Tris, I can't come. I'm like, what's up with your upper body? Oh, well, you can still get a good workout in. Train your upper body in the meantime. I remember when I was playing, I was doing boxing, right? Going to the gym, just, learn to throw the hands or whatever. And I hurt my right wrist. So obviously I can't punch the bag. So what happened is I still went to the gym and I developed my jab. And we all know that if you watch boxing, the jab is like probably the most important punch to develop for any fighter. It's fundamentally sound. Even Kobe Bryant, may God be pleased with him, when he broke his right arm, he was shooting left-handed jumpers. He started shooting with his left hand. He started brushing his teeth with his left hand. We have to take that setback into something positive and look at our weaknesses during this time and make it to become our strengths, right? And then once we heal, because it's gonna heal, now we added something more to our arsenal, right? So now we become even stronger, even better, a new and improved person or player, whatever you are in your designated field. All right. So all these little things like that makes you better. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's a knee problem, you just do more upper body work, more seated movements, right? If you have a shoulder injury or any upper body injury, you train more lower body. If you hurt your back, one time I hurt my back, I had to do more stability work, more core engagement, more isolation exercises. You know what I'm saying? So you can always do something. And that's one thing working at McDonald's taught me. It said that they said if they saw us sitting down doing nothing, they're like, yeah, what are you doing? I'm like, nah, it's slow. There's no customers in. There's always something to do. Prepare more burgers, keep your area clean, make sure your area is stocked up because you never know when a rush is gonna come in. So there's always preparing us, right? And it's the same thing in fitness. There's always something to do, right? So now this is where the challenge too, where I think why most people always feel like they can't go and do something because they're battling with their ego. And don't get me wrong, having an ego is healthy. It's a good thing when it's in a healthy way. The thing is, we put it in an unhealthy way where we can't check our egos. So we still want to come in and pick up where we left off before our injury. No, you have to start not from the beginning, but you have to gauge yourself back and even pull the reins back and listen to your body. So you have to lower your ego, but raise your intention when you're training. And I go back to the A word again, alignment. You see what I'm saying? You have to align and listen to your body because our body speaks to us, but we just have to listen. Don't go back in there trying to rush and pick up where you left off. Go back, get familiar with the technique again, get familiar, let your body get readjusted to the new weight, right? Even if it was less than what you did, because remember, you don't want to re-injure yourself. And by doing this the right way, you will learn how to bulletproof your body for in the future, all right? So this way, you can take the time, if you didn't before, work on more mind-muscle connection, more stability in your discipline, all right? Because your biggest growth happens when you're forced to slow down. And that's true. That's why I said setbacks. They always say setbacks lead to a greater comeback. So keep that in mind. Now, when we talk about injuries, there's a difference between pain and discomfort, right? So pain and discomfort are not the same thing. Discomfort is like the burn, the fatigue that you're feeling. That's normal. But if you're getting like pain where it's like super uncomfortable, then you should stop what you're doing. You don't want to do that. You want to be smart. This is part of, like I said earlier, the training smart aspect of fitness. All right. So always keep that in mind. You want to push past discomfort, not past pain. You don't want to re-injure yourself and be out even longer. All right. And don't forget that recovery is a part of your training. Right. So it's not optimal. It is required. All right. I can't stress to my clients enough the importance of recovery, rest and recovery, whether it's nutrition, right? Rest and taking time off so you can do other things. There's other aspects of fitness outside of strength training. Yes, strength training is the foundation, but you can do mobility work, stability work, stretching. You can warm up, even do Pilates if you want, active recovery kind of things like that. All right, walking, stuff like that. All right, and that's where you really level up and change your body. And sometimes when you're injured too, Don't OD too much with the eating, but allow your body a chance to heal. So go up in a little surplus, I would recommend, but still try to maintain some type of activity during your recovery phase of your injury. All right, and most importantly, consistency. That's what's really the underlying tone here. You're not searching for perfection. Get perfection out of your mind. All right, that will come eventually, but the key is just being consistent. All right. So I always tell clients, even with myself, you're not going to go 100% every day, but you do want to give 100% for that day. All right. Similar to like the weather. It's when it's summertime, it's not a heat wave for the whole summer. It's consistently like 70, high 70s. I live in New York, so like high 70s, 80s. It may touch a little 90s. You may get a week of a heat wave, pardon me, but it's not sustainable. But you just want to be consistent and keep that in your mind. Just keep doing a little bit every day to get you closer to your goal. All right. So if you're injured, don't quit. Just adapt, stay locked in, and make the proper adjustments. Because the people who win in fitness aren't the ones who never get hurt. They just don't stop. And always keep that in your mind. You got to keep going, but do it in an intelligent manner and be practical. So, if this resonates with you, like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know any other topics that y'all want me to go over to if you have any questions for me. And if you're looking for a program to get you right in the next 12 to 16 weeks, just hit the link in my description, reach out to me, and we'll see if we can work with you and get you to your goals, right, in a smart, effective manner. This is Alchemy Fitness, signing off, where we transfer you from lead to gold. Train hard, train smart, and train safe. Peace.